You guys want to know something? I'm still learning to communicate. I posted that on Facebook a couple days ago because I don't want to say I was at a low point, but I was like, I always struggle to speak my mind and like formulate it in the way that I think it. And then having anxiety on top of that does not help me with my communication skills and speaking. And to give you a little insight on how my brain works, when I think things, I think them over realistically maybe 3 or 4 times before I say them. I'm a huge overthinker. If someone says something to me that catches me off guard, it really throws my brain into gear. My response is what it is, but after I respond, I think about my response over and over and over again, the different things that I could say, you know, how I could have gone about it better. Was my body language okay? Was my facial expression okay? Like, did I sound like an ass? Or, you know, do I look like an ass? How do people look at me? I just go into a spiral. Like, what do I look like to people? So that's just a quick insight on how my brain works. But the point of me saying that I'm still learning to communicate is it's really hard. It's harder than you think. It's not just talking. It's a lot more factored into it, especially if you have feelings involved, like communicating to someone that you care about, or, you know, expressing your feelings to someone that you care about is so hard. And for me, it's hard no matter who it is. If it's a stranger, I'm worried about how I'm speaking or how I appear. If it's somebody that I care about, I'm worried about how I speak and how I, you know, come off. What is the reputation that I have? And so a lot of the times that makes me closed off. I'm an only child, so I spend a lot of time by myself. It's not that I don't need social interaction, it's just that I get overwhelmed really easily. Not to where I act weird or anything, but I just kind of get quiet and kind of analyze what's going on because it's a lot. So some people take that as standoffish, but I'm not standoffish. I'm actually pretty friendly. I just need time to really feel what's going on, you know, because if I get weirded out as my first impression, it's probably over for me for the rest of the time because I'm so stuck in my head after that. So but sidebar, I always like meeting people that are really friendly and like open and where I can overshare, because I'm also an oversharer. So once I get comfortable, we could talk about a lot of things. I love people like that are like super inclusive and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, so it's hard for me to communicate, and I keep now that I'm like super like hyper aware of it, every time I run into a problem, I'm like, dang, I should say what I really feel. So just recently, you know, it was like a Friday night and something made me upset. And instead of saying to the person involved what made me upset at that moment, get it squared away, I held on to it. And I do that a lot. I held on to it. And I held on to it till the next day. And when I tell you I had the roughest night, like I couldn't sleep. I would wake up every hour. You know, my chest, I had like heart palpitations. I was having like really bad panic attacks. Like I was jittery. I couldn't focus on anything. Like I couldn't watch any of my shows. I couldn't. And you know, whenever you're like in the middle of something heated, the person that it's involved with, especially if you're texting or calling them, you can never contact them. So you can never get like, it seems like forever between the time that you can reach them and like get the conversation out, or even half the time you don't even talk about what you need to be talking about. You just want to talk in general just to like check the temperature. And so that feels like forever between like texts and calls and FaceTimes or whatever, like or whenever they come home if you live with the person. Like it seems like forever and it just eats away at you. I haven't felt that way in a really long time, and it reminded me that I'm still struggling with communication and harboring. And the whole point of this was to just tell you to say it. Just say it. Say it. You can overthink about what you said all you want. Say it again another time. If you feel like you said it wrong the first time, repeat yourself. Whatever you need to do, but you need to get it out when you feel it. please do not hold on to things. It hurt me. It physically made me ill to hold on to what disturbed me or what made me upset, to where I basically made myself suffer. It wasn't the other person. Like, sure, they were the reason for the way that I was feeling, but it was my responsibility there on out after. So I felt a certain way, and then it's my responsibility after that, what happens after that. And so with my responsibility, I chose to harbor, and therefore I suffered. And it was the longest night in a while that I've had, and I would not wish that on anybody. It was extremely uncomfortable. It's like holding yourself hostage. And speak up. That's all I really want to tell you guys, is to speak up. Say what you need to say. I don't care how it comes out. I don't care if you need to run it back 100 times to the same person. It's repeated to them. They're like, you already told me this. Well, I feel like I need to tell you in a different way because this is how my brain works, and I feel like you didn't understand me, or I feel like I came on too strong, so I want to say it again, if that's okay. And if they respect you, that should be okay. Doesn't matter. It's a part of your process, but releasing it feels so much better than holding on to it. I don't care what it is. Just let it out. Don't be held hostage by your own feelings and what you truly mean. Just let it out and live in your truth. But yeah, that was all I came on here to say to you guys. But I'll talk to you soon. Peace.